Dámy a páni, čas nám beží ďalej, už sme trošku v sklze, zostávame na severe, neviem, či ste vedeli o tom, že Estónsko je krajina s mimoriadne rozvinutými internetovými službami a často označovaná ako jeden z národov najviac závislých od internetu na svete. My už v tejto chvíli máme online, keďže aj pandémia, veľa bezpečnostných opatrení a tak ďalej. Miss Piret Urb, ktorá je riaditeľka medzinárodných vzťahov Úradu pre informačný systém vlády Estónska. Dúfam, že sa počujeme. Miss Urb, stage is yours.
Yes, hello. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I hope you do.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, okay. It is the time that we always have to check before starting a longer talk. So thank you very much for having me. I'm very pleased and honored to be part of your important event in Slovakia. It's my first time, I think. So my name is Piret Urb and I'm from Estonian Information System Authority. And we are the ones in the country actually who are responsible for the cybersecurity. Plus, we are also responsible for the digital development of all the e-government core infrastructure elements. So I will show you some slides as well. But two main issues what I wanted to tell you today is about our new information security standard and also about incident that we had last summer. So there was quite the incident last summer actually, and maybe there is something to take also for the others. So yes, here it comes. I hope you are going to see it. Yes, you will, I guess, in a better way as well. So yeah, on the first slide now you see the authority. Just very, very briefly, you see both sides, what we are doing in the world. It's not so common that these two sides are together in the same authority, but in Estonia's case it is. And we have been happy with that. Of course, for a small country, it is good to have everything in the same place, that everybody knows each other. But what I'm going to tell you today more is the right side. The right side is like a cybersecurity center. We have all the elements here together, what every country has. Again, might be somehow a bit differently. But yeah, the CERT is always a CERT, the standards and supervision. There I'm going to tell you like few more details. Critical infrastructure information protection. This is, of course, we all know, you know very well, as one of the most important security element of the country, as the security is not only made nowadays physically in the borders or defending the country's airspace, but the security is everyday network security actually. And analysis and prevention is a tiny department that we also have, because someone has to take care of the data which is coming out from the cybersecurity incident management department, and someone must be able to read the trends and make the prevention as well in the society. So about CERT first, there is CERT in every country. Our CERT is called CERT, not the C-CERT. And in Estonia, there is only one CERT. In bigger countries, there are many. There are sectorial CERTs as a financial or transport, or they can be separately many. But in our case, it is one, and it is here with us. So we are the single point of contact for all the cybersecurity incidents happening in the country. And since 2015 already, our CERT is working 24/7. So anytime any company, private sector, public sector, or even private persons can contact CERT in case of something is going on and happening. And by the law for a critical information infrastructure protection companies, essential service providers, by the law, they have stricter rules than the others. There are certain rules how and when they have informed CERT if they notice something in their networks. So faster than the others, and it's quite well regulated in order to keep the networks as safe as possible. As we also the provider of the state network, which means that we are checking the networks to all the public sector institutions, including local governments, plus many schools and hospitals. So our CERT is quite comfortably monitoring all these networks permanently and has a very good overview of what's going on in the ecosystem, in the digital environment of Estonia. So just something more interesting maybe as well, as the time is very limited. I'm not going into the details here at the moment, but just some numbers just for your interest and maybe to make a comparison with your country. This is the data that our analysis department has made and put together based on the CERT information. So, but as we know, in the world, everywhere the ransomware is increasing, and more the countries are worried about it, and more the countries are cooperating on the fight against ransomware, actually. So this is unfortunately increasing trend. But now, this is a standard. What I wanted to tell you about the standard. So this is the mean or the tool in the country, in the government, how to try to reduce the number of incidents. So if there's a very good standard in the country, and if everybody is there to follow it, to implement it, then theoretically it should reduce the incidents happening. Let's see if it's gonna be like that in our case. Because up to now, we have been working in Estonia with our previous standard, which is called ISKE, which is based on German standard, IT Grundschutz, that got ready in 2004 already. So it has been available and serving us very well for many long years. And now everybody felt that it got old. So there has been a hard work going on, like for 1.5 years, together also with some private sector partners. And our team, together with these partners, they have drafted a new standard, totally new standard. Again, there is base of renewed German standard a bit, but this is still modified to be applicable to the Estonia's ecosystem. And our new standard is totally compatible with international standard ISO 27001. Which can be taken by the private sector, but for a government sector, everybody has to make a transition to new standard now. So the transition period is going to start on 2022, and it's lasting about 2 years. Our team is there already to make the trainings and teaching everybody how to make a change. So we do hope that it should help everybody to be more safe and secure. And we also the authority which is making supervision how the standard is implementing. So basically, just put in a very simple way that we have the team which is going out all over the country and making audit how the standard is implemented, and by the law they have quite many options to put the entities to work. Of course, we are not. Our goal is not to make the penalties we always prefer that the institutions use the same resources in order to fix the problem, to make their systems better instead of paying the penalties. But this is also opportunity in our toolbox, actually, when our team is going out. So, but there are very, very few cases. So they have right to check all the government institutions, also the ministries, also all the municipalities, local governments. So, and the work is going on. Of course, we would like to have more people who are doing this job. There are never enough, and as the cybersecurity field is growing every day, growing field, there is more technology, more networks, more databases. So we feel that we would like to have more resources for that. Both actually human resources and financial, but as I know, as we communicate with all the other countries, I guess everybody has a bit same challenges actually. Every institution who has a similar mandate would like to have more resources because we see the need in the market. So just to finish about standards, so our new standard is there. It will be also available for the others. As it is new, maybe someone finds it as a good base for something, maybe someone wants to check it, to change best practices. We are really there and happy to do it. It is not yet in English, but it will be. There is a translation going on. There is a new website, totally new website as well, which is at the moment still in Estonian, but it will be in English. So we are willing to cooperate with others on that. I guess many countries are updating their standard, and this is an important security tool nowadays. So let's switch the topic a bit related to prevention. Prevention is not exactly part of the standard, but this is again a very impactful tool to help the society not to fall into the cyber crimes, actually. So, of course, critical infrastructure information protection, what all they are doing, crisis management, trainings, exercises, community events, because it's important that they would know each other. It's important that the CISOs would change information, what they have, but also what we are doing all over the country are the awareness raising campaigns. The main month is October. I think it's the same in all the EU countries because ENISA, the EU Cybersecurity Agency, is coordinating it centrally. But we are not doing it only in October. October it's just like bigger and more visible, but we are also there and available all year actually. If some schools or institutions want to invite someone from our agency to make a training or a lecture to their people, so. And also when the COVID crisis started on 2020, March, April, so in April, we took our previous campaign from October, we changed it a bit and we went out with this campaign in the end of April for 3 weeks because everybody stayed home, working remotely from home. And we understood that the people need some support and we need to remind them all the issues that they should be aware of every day being online. So just so there were advertisements on TV, in the radio, on the public transport, on the city, everywhere, so that the people could just remember how to construct a very secure passwords, how to keep the data, what to click, what not to click, just like primary things. But in this crisis situation, it was very much necessary. So we were just reacting very, very fast in this time. So, and what we have, mandatory digital testing, it is mandatory for all government sector. Actually, we have a digital test, which in our authority has been many years mandatory, that once per year you have to go through of the test, where are the situations, and you have to select the right answer, and then you get the comment of the answer. So you see where you have been wrong, and how to really behave in a difficult situations. Some questions are more technical, some questions are less technical, but it's mandatory, and it's a testing, like learning by doing, actually. So in the end, you also see your result, and what is good for the organization, that the CISO, the security officer, gets a diagram of all organization, so that the training team is able to see what kind of training is the most necessary, where are the vulnerabilities of the people, so that that the organization is able to offer a right training to the people as well. So that has been quite useful in Estonia, actually. So let's move in. Let's move on. The incident, what I had promised, what I wanted to shed some light as well. Last summer, there was this photo theft happening in Estonia. It has been casted also quite in many places internationally. So on 21st of July, our authority, together with a cybercrime unit of the Central Criminal Police, detected and stopped the theft of close to 300,000 document photos, actually, identity document photos. Exact number, I think it was like 286,000 something. So fortunately, the suspect was identified, apprehended, and the downloaded data was seized, and the criminal investigation started. So what happened? There was a smart guy, basically, who was able to put together some different elements from different authorities. But everything ended well, because for the people, there's no need to apply for a new document. All people whose documents were downloaded, they got an email from the state announcing what happened and why and all these things. So the people quite appreciated it. And police was able to behave very fast, act fast, react fast, and we have, of course, very good cooperation with them. But the main good thing was there are sometimes good things in the bad situations, that the suspect did not gain any access to the database. It was based on the ID numbers and some other tools that he managed. But at the same time, in Estonia, there's not a possibility to falsify persons' digital identity based on the photo and ID code, because ID code is not the secret data in Estonia. There's really nothing you can do with that. So the investigation is still going on. There's not much more that has been able to send into the public. So yeah, this was something happening, of course, in the middle of the holidays of most people, when everybody was away, just the second part of July, as July is the main holiday month in Estonia. But it was a kind of wake-up call, and many institutions realized, and also maybe the whole digital system, the digital legacy can be very vulnerable issue actually. And as our e-government has been up and running nearly 20 years, so we are starting to get a lot of digital legacy actually. So which means that that there are much more resources needed to make the changes. So with that, I would stop here. So if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer. Thank you.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne riaditeľke medzinárodných vzťahov Úradu pre informačný systém vlády Estónska, pani Piret Urb.